Good morning. So today my goal is to record a class that is a general flow class, kind of hitting all of the things that I think I pretty much do every time I practice yoga. And if I don't have any glitches with the computer, I am using the new computer, then I will upload it to my YouTube channel. And I haven't uploaded anything to the YouTube channel since COVID, so it might be hard to find, but I'll send you the link. And then you'd be able to just do a flow with me anytime that you like. And that's my final gift to you. And then next week, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I would like to maybe do the weight class again that we did last week without all of the blackouts that my old computer did, and then upload that also as an option for you. So let's start off on our back in constructive rest. And as you settle down, make sure you're comfortable. Get all my mood lighting on. And I don't think you need to see my weights. I can put that up a little bit. Something happened with my monitor. It shows on the monitor, but it doesn't show on the computer. I'll have to figure that out later. So in constructive rest, one of the most important things about it is that you have a neutral spine. And with a neutral spine, lengthen out through the head. So the back of the neck lengthens, the chin slightly tucks down. Relax into that space so that the back of the head is connected to your mat. And then the neck swoops away from the mat, the cervical spine. Then the thoracic spine, you might want to move around a little bit to make sure you're really making as much connection as you can. Maybe rolling your hands out to 5 and 7 o'clock so you're broad across the collarbones. The thoracic spine is basically your chest wall, your rib cage, and everything that's in it. And then the lower back, the lumbar spine, swoops away from the mat for most of us. And then the pelvis is on the mat. So grounding is our first fundamental. Let the neck relax and let the head be heavy. Let the chest wall melt into your mat. And invite the pelvis to broaden and spread and sink into your mat. And the feet are connected. Second fundamental is finding ease in your body. So maybe you need to just squirm around a little bit and make sure that you really are comfortable where you are. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue, and let it rest quietly in the lower jaw. Take a nice, long, deep breath and a long exhale. And as you exhale, relax the muscles in the face, the ones between the eyebrows, the squint of the eyes, and the purse of the mouth. Now you might have a different pattern, but I notice that's where I tend to have tension in my face. And soften your throat and let your shoulders relax away from your ears towards the mat, broadening your collarbones as well as your shoulder blades. Another deep breath, and with the exhale, let the rib cage come down and down. So what I mean by that is down towards the floor and down towards your tailbone. When you inhale, the ribs go up and out. And when you exhale, the rib cage comes down and in. And relax the muscles in the belly, letting the two asses or the hip headlights relax away from each other, softening the muscles in your thighs, all the way down to your feet and your toes. Our second fundamental, finding ease in our body through the gateway of relaxing the jaw and inviting open spaciousness across the roof of the mouth. Third fundamental is our exhaling breath. So just bring your awareness to your breath and notice, do you let your exhale go all the way out to the end? Or do you shortchange it and stack inhale on top of inhale? Is your breath equal, filling both the right and the left lung equally? Some people actually only breathe through one lung and the other lung is just kind of coming along for the ride. So make sure you're letting the air flow into both sides. And make sure that your exhale goes all the way out to the end. And as you know, this normal inhale and exhale massages the great vagal nerve as the nerve passes through the diaphragm along the esophagus. And that gentle massage of your breath is very down-regulating, quiets your mind, and it down-regulates your nervous system. And even more so if you add on a little pause at the end of the exhale. And slowly opening your eyes and starting to rock your pelvis forward and back as you do supine cat-cow. Warming up the pelvis. And then lift one knee over the pelvis, the other knee over the pelvis, and flex your feet, point and flex, point and flex, rotate in circles the other way. Roll your pubic bone into the belly button so the lower back is flat. Tap your heel down to the ground and back up, and the other leg. Do that 5 or 6 times. For those of you who find this like la-di-da, it's a little bit too easy for you, then instead of going directly down underneath your knee, reach your heel out a little ways, maybe 6 inches, see how that feels, and do that a couple times. Maybe even a little further, and do that a couple of times. And for those of you who want more, raise the right heel towards the ceiling, bring the leg back down, tap, raise it all the way back up, and bend the knee. Left leg raised towards the ceiling. Those of you who don't want to do that, just continue tapping because you're building muscle. And then raise both legs up and bring them both down to the floor, bent knees, and back up. And maybe out a little further. Make sure your pubic bone is rolled into the belly button so that your lower back is on the floor. And maybe arms up to the ceiling and overhead, and take the heels towards the ceiling and come all the way down. This is actually stage 4 of dead bug. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a rock and a roll. Now grab your block for the, you can always do dead bug, right? That's always a great one. And we'll do dead bug next week. I want to do Uddiyana Bandha wake up along with yoga sit-ups, just so that we have that to remind you in your brain how we do that. So you put the block between your thighs from knee up to wherever it ends. When you exhale, you press in on the block, and when you inhale, you release. So this is Uddiyana Bandha Wake Up. Uddiyana Bandha are the muscles between your pubic bone and your belly button. And this is pretty easy. It's a great place to start. And you're getting maybe, I don't know, guess 20% engagement of the Uddiyana Bandha. Now, roll your pubic bone into the belly button and raise the knees over the hips with the feet flexed. And now, press in with the exhale. And with the inhale, release. And you notice there isn't as much difference in your belly because just having your knees up is causing a little bit more of your core. And then raise your heels towards the ceiling, and it's even more so. Take your hands, take them up to the ceiling, palms are facing each other, draw the arm bones down to the ground, inhale, reaching up, exhale, reaching down, inhale, reaching up, exhale, reaching down. Keep it down, bend the elbows, knit your fingers, elbows go out wide, and come underneath the bulb of the head. Your feet come back to the ground. So that was a little bit of isotonic, building up the muscles in your core. Draw those arm bones down into the ground so that your elbows are out at about a 45-degree angle. Knit your ribs, drawing the lower ribs down towards your pubic bone and down towards the tailbone to raise head, shoulder, and neck up off of the ground. And coming back down. So now we're going to pair that with our exhale and our pressing in on the block, okay? So exhale, press in on the block, knit the ribs, and raise head, neck, and chest up off of the ground. And holding and slowly coming back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, knit the ribs, and come up, holding for a breath, and coming back down. 3rd time, press in on the block, knit the ribs, come up, take a little breath, and then when you exhale, come up a little further, and exhale, coming back down. Now you can continue doing yoga sit-ups like that, or you can bring your knees over your hips, feet are flexed, press in on the block, knit your ribs, raise head, neck, chest, hold for a breath, and exhale, come up a little higher, and inhale, coming back down. Bring your feet down to the ground and take a resting breath. So the next one is to take the legs all the way up. So you can stay right here. You can bring your knees over your hips, or you can bring your heels up to the ceiling, straightening your legs. Press in on the block. With your exhale, knit your ribs, bring head, neck, and chest up. Hold for a breath, and when you exhale again, come up a little higher and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming down, bending your knees. Knit your ribs to support the feet coming down to the ground, and take a resting breath. With the exhale, you press in on the block. With the inhale, you release. Exhale, press on the block. Inhale, release. We'll do that 1 more time, you choosing which one you want to do. So maybe you want to just have your feet on the floor. Maybe you want your knees over your hips, feet flexed, or maybe you want your heels towards the ceiling. Exhale, wherever you are, exhale to knit your ribs, bring the head up, make sure your arm bones are grounded down and your head is able to completely rest in your arms. There's no tension in your neck. It's not coming from your neck. It's all coming from your back and from your abdomen. And with the next exhale, can you come up a little higher? And again, make sure that the head is like a bouncing ball in a swimming pool. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming down, bending your knees if they were up, and then bringing the feet down to the ground. You can take the block out and bring your knees into your chest for a rock and a roll. We haven't done that in a long time, and I'm feeling it. And roll over onto your side and come up to tabletop. That's a good core workout, isn't it? If you need protection, you can fold the mat over, or use a blanket or a pillow or the knee pads that we had at one. Hands are under shoulders. Make sure that you're externally rotating your upper arm bones so that the pointy part of your elbows toward your thighs, broad across the collarbones. Lengthen out through the crown of the head, lengthen out through the tailbone, and gently draw the lower ribs into the lower back. Nice deep breath and exhale. And inhale, coming into cow, sinking down in between your arm bones. Tailbone goes up the wall behind you. Exhale, push the floor away from you, curl your back, look down between your thighs, tailbone tries to reach the nose. Inhale, coming into cow. Exhale, back into cat. One more time, inhale into cow. And exhale, back into cat. Neutral spine, left foot over right ankle, left hand over, wag the tail looking over your right shoulder. Really breathe into that opening of the left side. And with your next exhale, come out, inhale in neutral. Right ankle goes over left ankle, right hand goes to the left side, wag your tail over to the left, looking over your left shoulder. In case you haven't figured out, we're doing the 6 movements of the spine. It's a great warm-up. Once you come back into the center, uncross, and a cat-cow. So that's 4. The last 2 are twisting to the sides. So you're going to take the right arm out, thread the needle underneath the left arm, bring your right cheek down, take your left hand either out in front of you on fingertips, spider fingers, walking forward so you really have that nice stretch. Reach that right arm a little further. If you like, you can take your right arm up to the ceiling, or you can rest it on your sacrum. As you all know, I really like that stretch of my pec muscle with this. And take deep breaths and long exhales, allowing the fascia and the muscles to have this stretch of a twist in the upper back. It's so good for your chest. And then bring the left hand down under the shoulders, pushing up, and do a cat-cow. Inhale to cow. Then come back to neutral spine. Left arm goes out, left arm comes under right, left cheek comes down to the ground, right hand comes up, spider fingers. Walk the fingers forward a little bit, reach the left hand out a little bit more, and then breathe. Nice, long, deep breaths and deep, long exhales, feeling the muscles stretch underneath your shoulder blades. Into the pec, feel the rib cage moving. Nice twist. And then bring the hand under the shoulders, pushing up, and a cat-cow. And then the next one we're going to do is pointer dog, just because it is so good for us. It's great for the SI joint. And Dr. Long, who is an orthopedic surgeon and a yoga master, does all those beautiful pictures in the books that I have. He says this is one of the best ones he knows for SI joint. So take the right leg out, reach out with the heel, toes still on the ground, and the left arm out, thumb up, little finger down, long through the neck. Now you can balance right here if this is what you're able to do, or you can bring the left arm up and right leg up and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and put the foot down, the knee down, and the hand down. Going over to the other side, my right knee might not support me, but we'll try. Left leg goes out, right arm goes out, right. You can stay here. Remember, you don't have to do it. Right arm comes up by the ear. Left leg comes up off of the ground. If you reach out with the heel, you're more likely to get a straight leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand down, knee down, and a cat-cow. And second cat, go all the way back to cat, and then sink all the way back down to child's pose. Arms out in front of you. Nice big deep breaths and long exhales. And let's do a couple of more strength building. So can you come up to a knee absolute? And exhale all the way down, hands on the back of the sacrum, palms up towards the ceiling. If you need to use your hands under your shoulders to give you support and to push up, that's okay. But if you can work towards not having to do that, that's going to be more strength. So that was an absolute 2. Back down. This time we're going to do a absolute and a twist. Inhale, absolute. Open arms out, twist to the right. Belly button goes back to the left. Open arms up and come back down onto the sacrum or down to the floor if you need that support. Inhale, last absolute. And now we twist to the left. Belly button goes to the right. Arms come back up and back down. Arms onto the sacrum, and then let them come forward into child's pose again. Press down with the hands and pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Press down and pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. This time we're going to move. Press down and pull. 5, 4, 3, coming up to knee up dog. Letting the belly fall down, opening up the chest, let those shoulders roll out. If you like, curling the toes and raising your knees and reaching, pumping those heels back a little bit so you get a stretch in the calf. And then push back to down dog. In down dog, knees are bent. Hands, okay, let's talk about that. Palms are flat, grounding the mound of the toe of the pointer finger and your thumb, then rotate the pointy part of the elbows towards your thighs. External rotation of the upper arm bones. You should have plenty of room between your ears. Then bend the right knee, reach the left heel. And then go to the other side. Bend the left knee, reach the right heel towards the mat. Tip the pelvis towards the ceiling, up the wall behind you. Again to the left side, bending the right knee. And to the left side, bending the left knee. And then holding both steady. End of the exhale, bend the knees, look up to the hand, thoracic extension. Push off to walk your feet forward. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Push down to come all the way up into absolute and back to mountain. You don't need these things anymore. Mountain pose. Top of the mat. We're going to do a sun salutation, but we're going to start with Donna Farhi's, what she thinks is the most important for building SI joint strength. And basically, if you have a strong SI joint, you're helping your hips and you're helping your knees. So it's really important to have strength all the way in this area, as much as it is up here. This is where we tend to be the worst off, isn't it? So heels up and heels down. Inhale to come up. And exhale to come down. See if you can do it slowly. Inhale, coming up, arms up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, heels up, arms up. Heels down, arms down. Adding on, horse. Heels up, arms up. Heels down, coming all the way down to horse. That means the pelvis is coming straight down over your ankles. Knees are over your toes. So you're in a straight up position. Push down to come up, arms down. Chair, you come forward, okay? So heels up, arms up, heels down, knees come forward, chest comes forward, bum goes back. So we're in chair, or also called fierce pose, and forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. Now we've already done down dog. Externally rotate the upper arm bones. Bend the knees, tip the pelvis, and reach the pelvis up the wall behind you, pushing the floor away from you, getting that nice long line from fingertips to tailbone. With the next exhale, coming forward into plank. In plank, you can come down onto your knees, and we're going to do let's do 5 or 6 push-ups, okay? So you can come all the way down, or you can do it on your knees, and then come all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And come up back down to prone mountain. In prone mountain, hands are down by your heart. Fingers are below your shoulders. Lengthen out through the top of your head. A little figure infinity signs with your nose, one direction, and in the other direction. Make sure you have a nice loose neck. Raise the right leg and lengthen it out. Raise the left leg and lengthen it out. Press down with your hands and pull back, coming up into baby cobra, grounding your pubic bone. Inhale, lengthen that back of that neck. So you're not kinking your neck and reaching with your chin. You're gazing down at the mat, maybe 3 inches in front of you. And then come back down. Let's get those hamstrings going. Pull your heels towards your sits bones and see if you can get your heel to touch your bum. It's not a matter of touching your bum, it's a matter of engaging the hamstrings to try to touch your bum. And then keep that engagement while you lengthen that leg. It's mind over matter, so you're still pulling your heel towards your sits bones, lengthening your hamstrings as you keep them engaged, and then relax. Same thing the left side. Pull your heel towards your sits bones, trying to touch your bum with your heel. That's what you're feeling is your hamstrings. So keep those hamstrings engaged while you lengthen them. And then once your foot touches the ground, you can release. So now pull your heels towards your hamstrings without bending your knees to raise your legs using your hamstrings. That's what should be doing it, because that's the shorter side of your leg. If you're trying to work a pulley, you do the shorter side if you want to raise the legs. Then press down with the hands, pull back and come up into locust pose. Hands come behind us, internal rotation. Reach the palms towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Crocodile pose, palm over palm, right cheek onto the back of the hand. Let the heels roll out. Big toes are towards each other, little toes are towards the mat. And send your breath down into the back lower lobes. As we come into the flu and cold season, COVID season, we want to make sure that we're opening up all of those air pockets in the lower back lobes of our lungs. So nice, long, deep inhales, long exhales, add on the pause. One more breath here. And then we'll do locust pose again, just because it's so important. Hands are down. Let's start off this time grounding our pubic bone. And then pressing down with the hands, pulling back, lengthening our upper spine to raise our head and neck, pulling our heels towards our sits bones to raise the legs. And then arms come behind, palms up, raise them up another ½ inch, and thumbs towards each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way back down to crocodile pose, left cheek onto the back of the hand. Heels relax out to the side. Nice deep breaths into the back upper lobes of your lungs. And then again back down to the lower lobes of the lungs. And then coming back to prone mountain, curling your toes. You can do a knee push-up as you go back to child's pose. So push up to the knees and then go back to child's pose. Press down with the hands and pull 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Press down and pull 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Press down and pull, coming forward into knee up dog, rotating those arm bones externally, curling the toes, raising the knees up, reaching out with the heels, and back to down dog. Knees are bent, externally rotating the upper arm bones, taking the sits bones, painting up the wall behind you, reaching the heels towards the mat. End of the exhale, bend the knees, look up to the hands. There's your thoracic extension. Push off with your feet and come into inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press down to come up, grabbing onto your right wrist and over to the left. Lateral bend. We did that with wag the tail, but this is, I think, much more effective. I always think of Mark when we do this because he loves this pose. Inhale, coming up, grabbing onto your left wrist and over to the right, opening up the whole left side. If you like, you can twist and look at your neck and look underneath the armpit towards the ceiling. And coming back up and arms come down. Sumo. Stepping wide. Now remember here, you can always do your weights, but today is going to be without the weights. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, triple flexion, shins forward, sits bones back, chest down. You don't want to bring your chest down flat. You still want it at a 90 degrees. Press down to come up. Action and resistance, keep the legs straight while you bend them and try to keep them bent while you straighten so that you're using muscles going up and down. And you're using your body weight for your strength building. Maybe you can come down a little deeper. Last time. Raise the right heel, lowering down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact. Raise the left heel, lowering down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact. Pressing down to come up. Left toes turn in, heel goes out, right toes go out. So your pelvis, if that's 12 o'clock, your pelvis should be at your 10 o'clock, okay? Pull with the heel, hamstrings, push, quads. So it turns out they found another quad, so it's actually quints. But that's not into the books yet. It'll take 15 years to get into the books. How can you discover another muscle after all these years? I don't understand. Next time knee is bent, pausing here. Reach out with that back leg. Externally rotating the ankle, but grounding with the big toe really activates that back leg. Maybe walking the toes further and coming down a little further. Hands to heart. A little bit of pressure on your hands, turning on those back muscles. Remember to externally rotate that front knee. Inhale up and out, turning the neck, warrior 2. We'll do a full 5 breaths in warrior 2. Through the nose, long exhales. I'm on 4. And 5. With the next inhale, tip the pelvis, drop the forearm. Arm comes up if that's the style you want. If you want version 1, you can always externally rotate up over. I really like this one because I think this builds strength when I let my hand come down. So I'm pressing my knee against my elbow and my elbow against my knee. It provides more grounding, more support. With your inhale, reach up with your fingers and then grab onto your shin, pull your thigh into your hip, and you're in triangle pose. Let that left hip roll forward as the left shoulder rolls back. I didn't count if we did 5 in the other one, but here we are again. And then bend the knee and take a resting. And then inhale, another rest. And then flip the front hand and we go into reverse warrior. Inhale to straighten, standing gait. Exhale to bend. I like to move my head and neck because that helps with balance. So when I bend, I look down at my back heel, and when I straighten, I look up at my hand. Next time, leg is straight, hand down, feet forward, 2 sumos. Remember, as you go down in sumo, you externally rotate your knees so that they're not collapsing in. You want them going out over the middle toes. Come down a little further, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Press down to come up. Sorry, I didn't start at 8, so right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Pull, hamstrings. Push, quads or quints. Action and resistance is always good. So you try to keep it bent while you straighten, and you try to keep it straight while you bend. Activates the muscles on both sides so that you're not just doing la-di-da yoga. We wouldn't want to be doing that, would we? Remember that back leg? You're reaching out with the heel, externally rotating the ankle, grounding the big toe. Fibularis is being, and then next time your knee is bent, pausing here, maybe walking your foot forward and coming down a little lower, maybe. Hands to heart. So your pelvis is not straight to the long edge of your mat. It's now at your 2 o'clock, okay? A little bit of pressure on your hands, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Inhale up and out, warrior 2, exhaling 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And with the next inhale, tip the pelvis, drop the forearm, bring the arm up. Reach out with that back leg. Maybe heel toe out a little further, bending the front knee a little further. Maybe reaching down with the other hand to the floor or onto the ankle. Pressing the knee into the elbow, and the elbow into the knee engages more muscles. I think we're around 4. And so this would be 5. Straightening the knee, drawing the thigh into the hip socket, but letting the right hip headlight roll forward as the right shoulder rolls back. The twist is in the upper back. You don't want it down in your SI joint. And then bend the knee for 1 breath rest. And then come up to warrior 2 and flip the hand and reverse warrior. Inhale to straighten, exhale to bend. If you like, you can look up with the bent and look back at your heel, or you can do it the other way around. It's always good to mix things up and not always do it the same way, because that's one of the things that our brain gets used to the same thing. So if you always look down when your knee is straight, next time knee is bent, look down, and the knee is straight, look up. So play around with it. Give your brain a little bit of a challenge. The next time it's straight, pausing here, hands down, feet forward, heels in, and 2 sumos, action and resistance, going slowly, coming down further, pressing down to come up. Check in with your jaw. Exhale, coming down, and inhale, coming up. Heel toe, heel toe. So I think we should just do the regular old flow that we do with crane and the whole thing, okay? So crane is great for building muscle on the other side. So we're going to bring weight, I got to do it opposite of you. Bring weight over to your left side, and the right, you can just bring the heel up, or you can use a chair if that is helpful to you. Bring the knee up to the waist, out to the side, back to center, Tipping over, kick the leg out and drop it down. Once you drop it down, internally rotate your right leg so that the heel is straight. See how they're straight out from each other? That's what you want. And projected lunge, do it sideways, is as low as you can come down. Reach out with the heel, bending the knee. If you need, you can put forearm over forearm. This is called external support. Or you can bring your hands to heart and you're using internal support. As you reach the shin forward, pull the thigh back and tuck it underneath your sits bones so that your pelvis is neutral. Then press down with the front foot to straighten the leg. Raise the hip headlights, bring more weight onto that back leg, and then bend and straighten, okay? And you're trying to keep that back leg straight. Mine tends to bend. I just don't know what to do about that. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. And if your SI joint is a problem, then you don't want such a deep. So then you want to bring the foot forward. So you wouldn't have such a deep stance. Next time the knee bends, pausing here. Hands to heart, shoulders down away from the ears. Or arms out, try to get the thumbs towards each other. Open up the chest. It's a thoracic extension, front fascia line pose. You can also take your arms up to the ceiling. I'm on breath 4, exhaling now, and 5, and then projected lunge. The knee bends, my foot can go back out, and then humble lunge. And we've already done up and down. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come forward onto your leg, front leg for airplane or warrior 3. And then swinging through, bringing the right leg up. You reach forward into crane. Out to the side. Heel comes to ankle. We're at tree. So you choose where you want your hands in tree. Now notice that my hip was getting lazy. Press down on your standing left leg so that you bring that hip in line, and then the arms can come up. Toes can come up, or they can come down. If your practice is to bring your leg up, you can do that, but you don't want to have it on your knee. Either bring it all the way up to your thigh or on your ankle. And since I had knee surgery, I can no longer bend my knee like that. They don't tell you that. And foot down, arms down. Roll out your standing foot. It's been working. We'll do that over to the other side. So bring the weight over to the right side. Left heel comes up, or if you have better balance, the knee comes up. Go out to the side, moving slowly. Back to center. You can have the hands wherever that's helpful. And then tipping over, kick the leg back, drop down into projected lunge. In projected lunge, you might want to go back a little further. If that back leg is back, then you roll the hip forward. So this time you have a front view of me. And then again, you can have hands at heart, internal support, or you can bring your hands down on your thigh. This thigh, don't let it go out. So I wanted you to be able to see. You reach the shin forward, you pull the thigh back, and you tuck it underneath so that it's not going out. This is what often happens with people, so you want to make sure you practice in front of the mirror that that hip is in. And then press down on the front foot to straighten the leg. Maybe you want to bring that back leg forward if you have an SI joint issue. And exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten, raise the hip headlights, bring more weight onto that back, open up the chest. This is the front fascia line. You're feeling the psoas here as you bend. It's hard on the SI joints. That's why you don't want such a long stance if you have an SI joint problem. The next time knee is bent, pausing here. And it's thoracic extension. So you want to try to bring your elbows together, Open up your chest, your throat, and your gaze towards the ceiling. Your hands can be at hips, they can be at heart, they can be out to the side, or they can be up. So you choose what you want. And then we'll try to do our 5 breaths, and I think I'm on probably 4 by the time I talk that much. And then projected lunge, and bring the hands back, and we went up last time, so thumbs together. 1, 2, nice long neck, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come forward into airplane onto your right leg, letting the left leg come up, or you can come into warrior 3. Airplane is the precursor for warrior 3, where you raise that leg up, but you want to make sure that that hip is rolled down. And then slowly coming up into crane, bringing the knee up and through, out to the side, and the heel comes down to the ankle. Tree pose. Now remember, when that leg goes out, don't let this hip go with it. So when the left knee goes out, the right hip grounds the counter grounding. Standing on the standing leg, you press down to come up. Don't let the hip go out. Choose where you want your hands. Most people like it up. And then choose where you want your foot. Remember, you can bring it up onto your shin or onto your thigh, but not onto your knee. You will be able to maintain your pose easier if you just you ground the heel against the ankle and raise the toes. And then you can go up and down according to what your needs are for your balance. Hands down, foot down, stepping wide for 2 sumos. Anytime we do an asymmetrical pose, let's do a symmetrical pose between. And heel, toe, heel, toe. And I would love to do eagles. Let's do it. If it goes over a little bit, oh well. So get your block and put it on the outside of your left foot. Let's get the arms first before you're balancing on one foot. So we're going to be on our left foot. The right foot is going to go up and over, okay? That means the right arm is going to go under. So arms out, right arm under, grab onto your shoulders, make sure those shoulders are away from the ears. We tend to bring them up. So bring the shoulders down, bring the elbows up, bring the forearms together, and then if your hands can come together without getting your fingers all into claws, that's fine. Pull the heels back as you come down into a squat. Bring the weight onto the left leg, right leg comes over and rests onto the block or off. You don't have to have it on the block. And then maybe you sink down a little lower and look through your hands and notice how it bifurcates your gaze. Bring those elbows up and then press down to come up and release. Roll your shoulders out and take the block over to the other side. We do love eagles pose. So this time, left arm goes under right, onto the shoulders, shoulders down, elbows up, forearms together, palms together. Coming into a squat, weight onto the right leg, left leg comes up and over. You squeeze the thighs together, you squeeze the calves together, you squeeze the arms together. Maybe you come down a little lower, raise the elbows up and gaze. And breathe. And then press down to come up and remove your block. At the top of your mat, heels up, arms up, horse. Heels down, come into horse. A little bit of a bounce to get those calf muscles and press down to come up, arms down. Next we'll do chair. Heels up, arms up, and come into chair. And forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. External rotation with down dog of your arm bones. Knees are bent. paint up the wall behind you with your sits bones. And push the floor away from you, reaching your chest towards your thighs. And then come down onto your knees, uncurl your toes, and we're in child's pose. Take your left hand over to the left side of your mat, right hand on top of left. Again, a crescent child. We did crescent moon. And we did wag the tail. So we've gotten 3 lateral fascia lines. And then over to the other side. Left hand on top of right. Reach your sits bones towards your heels as you reach your fingers in the opposite direction, lengthening the spine. And then taking the left hand over to the left side, letting your head come down to the floor if it reaches. If it doesn't, or if you want more restorative, you can bring forearm over forearm and bring your forehead onto the back. Or you can bring your hands onto your heels and let your shoulders drop forward. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, pushing up and making your way onto your back, making sure you have your strap and your block close by. So first arrive in constructive rest. And we're going to take the block and we'll put it between our legs. We're going to bring our heels closer to our sits bones, elbows down by the waist, and goalpost hands press down on the back of the head and the elbows to raise the chest. Bring the chest wall down and let your hands rest down by the side. Press down on the block with your exhale, and with the inhale, raise your hips. And exhale, press in on the block. With the inhale, come up a little higher. Exhale, press in on the block. With the inhale, come up a little higher. And hold for 3 breaths. So pull the heels towards the head, reach the shins over the toes, and slowly coming down. Knees into the chest, give yourself a rock and a roll. So we can do that again, or if you want to challenge yourself, we're going to do it with one leg. And if you're going to do it with both, you're going to hold it up there like we did, where if the exhale, you press in, with the inhale, you come up a little higher. If you're doing it with one leg, you're going to take one leg up, and we're just going to do 5 bridges with the other leg. So I've got my right leg up, my left leg is under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really good for your bum. And change legs. You can do it more when we're not on a time crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, another little tidbit for you. You can do bridge again, or take both legs up, have both hands down, and try to reach the heels to the ceilings 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a core builder, can you tell? Grab your strap. Take the strap, put it on the ball of the right foot, straighten out the legs, straighten out your elbows, straighten out the left leg. Reach the right heel towards the floor, towards the ceiling, the floor up there. Reach the arm bones down to the floor. Reach the left heel out, reach the right heel out, and breathe. Broad across the collarbones. When you draw those arm bones down into the socket, that broadens your collarbones. And when you aren't doing that, your collarbones get really pinched. So really doing that is going to really help your upper back muscles, which will help your posture, which is what some of you are working on with your weaving and your reading and your driving. Take both straps into the right hand, left hand out to the side, draw the arm bone down as you go out with your exhale, and turn your head to look over your left hand. Straighten out with that knee with the right leg as you reach the heel out. And this one we don't hold for 5 because it's hard on the SI joint. So we bring it back up after 3, grab it with the other one, internal rotation, right arm goes out, turn the neck to look over the right thumb. And then coming back, one hand on each strap, reach the heel out so the knee is straight, bring the arm bones down, reach the left heel out. And then bend the knee, release the strap, wind relieving pose as you bend the knee into the chest. Raise the left leg, if you like, up off of the floor. Arm bones are coming to the ground, point and flex. Rotate in circles. Circles the other way. Drop the left leg, draw the right knee in further, and now see, as you remove your support, one hand at a time, can you keep that knee that close to the chest? And what do you notice? Then let the knee come over the hip, foot is flexed, out to the side, 1, 2, and 3, and foot comes down, left foot joins, resting breath. Find your strap, put it around the ball of the left foot, reach that left heel out, reach the right heel out as you straighten both legs, draw the arm bones down into the ground. And take a deep breath and a long exhale. All 5 of them. Well, that was 1. Finishing up 4. And when you finish 5, you reach up with the strap, protraction of the hands, wrap it around. Inhale here, exhale, draw the arm bone down into the ground as leg and arm goes out to the side. Right arm goes out to the side, turn your head to look over the right knee, right thumb, reach both heels out so that the knees are straight. Inhale, coming back up, changing hands, internal rotation, drawing the left leg over to the right as you look over your left thumb. Reach out with the heel to keep that leg straight. See, my knee just wants to bend. That's what happens to all of us, I hope. And then come back, one hand on each strap, reach the heels out of both legs, draw the arm bones down, you'll feel it. The less bend you have in the knee, the more you're going to feel the hamstring stretch. Deep breath and long exhale. And with the next exhale, bend the knee, release the strap, grab onto the knee, moving your hands, wind relieving pose. Roll your pubic bone into the belly button, raise the right leg, arm bones down to the ground, point and flex. And do circles. And circles the other way. And then drop the right leg. Slowly remove your support from your left leg. And once you remove it all, can you keep the knee that close? I used to lose about 6 inches. Now I only lose about 1 inch. And then bring the knee over the hip, out to the side, once, pelvic floor straight, twice, and 3 times. And bring the foot back to center, and right foot joins. Resting breath. And bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a rock and a roll, rolling over onto your left side. Now we did twists a couple of times. But at the end of of your yoga practice, we do a forward fold, which was supine leg, and a twist, and we're going to do clamshell. So hand is out in front, inhale up, exhale. As it falls back behind, belly button rolls forward so that you have a stable SI joint here. I'll move back on my mat so you can see me. And just breathe. Your knees should be up by your waistband, the foot lightly flexed, knee on top of knee, hip on top of hip. If you're going too far, notice how the knee goes. So you want to keep the knee over and hip over hip, and then just let the twist be between your shoulder blades. Probably at about 5 breaths with the next inhale up and down in front of you with your exhale. And roll over to the other side. Putting your hand underneath your head to support your head and keep your neck in line. Knees up by your waistband, knee over knee, ankle over ankle, hip over hip. Left arm out in front, inhale up, exhale out behind. As the arm goes back, belly button comes forward towards the mat. And take your 4 or 5 nice, long, deep breaths. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, down in front. A nice resting breath. And then roll over onto your back. Last rock and roll. Happy baby. Only because we all love it so much. Really gives a nice massage to the kidneys and releases the lower back. So there is really a good purpose. And then bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go out. Spine cobblers. Maybe a little bit of a rocking, not too much. And then bring your knees together, feet to the floor, and you choose what position you want for Shavasana. The traditional is corpse pose. If you're practicing on a hot day, take your feet apart and your arms out so that the seams of your arms and your legs are open to air. If it's a cold day, keep your legs together and your arms closer into the body. You can always put a blanket over you. Shavasana is your time to do nothing. Your time to just breathe. Quickly go through your 3 fundamentals of how you are grounded on your mat. Make sure that you're relaxed, releasing your jaw and your tongue. And then let the exhaling breath flow naturally and fully all the way to the end. Adding on a little pause at the end of the exhale. Take a deeper inhale and a longer exhale. Another deeper inhale and a longer exhale. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Pointing and flexing, rotating. Bringing gentle movement into your wrists, your fingers, your ankles, your toes. Then bend your knees. Bring your feet to the floor. Be present right here, right now, in gratitude for the time you've spent. Allowing the breath to flow, allowing your body to relax as you slowly make the transition. Rolling over onto your side, or if you like to give yourself a final rock and roll, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest, and then roll over onto your right side. A couple of breaths here. Allowing your body and your mind to slowly make that transition back into your day. Pushing up, making your way to seated. Hands to heart. A little bit of pressure on your hands so that the collarbones are nice and broad. Reach down with the sits bones so that you're tall through the spine. A little gentle smile to your mouth. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe and free from danger. May all beings be free of any form of suffering. May all beings live with ease. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. If I do get this up on YouTube, please let me know how it goes. Bye.